All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and replace the fuel element filter. On this particular motor, it has a cover over the filter. You wanna remove that, 2 10mm bolts. This one also has a water in the fuel sensor. So you wanna go ahead and unplug that, because if you try and twist the filter off with this wire hooked up, you're gonna go ahead and twist that wire all up and probably break it. So you wanna make sure that's off. There's 2 10mm bolts on the top. We wanna go ahead and remove those. Put this cover away. By taking these bolts out, it just makes it easier to remove the old filter and install the new one. Now the filter is easily accessible to replace. Go ahead and put a rag down there so you don't make a mess. Sometimes you need the special tool to remove this canister. Go ahead and clean it up. Make sure, inspect the O-ring. Make sure that the O-ring's in good shape, so that's gonna seal properly. Wanna remove the filter. And fuel's gonna come out of it, so you make sure you don't make a mess. You wanna dump the old fuel out. You don't drop that O-ring. Go ahead and make sure it's clean in there. I like to blow it out with compressed air. So we'll go ahead and do that. Again, when you blow it out, make sure you don't blow the O-ring away. Use some safety glasses on that one. Go ahead and get the new filter out of our Yamaha box. Just pop it in there. I also like to put a little grease around the threads so that next time it comes off by hand without using the tool. Just make sure if you put grease on it that you're not getting grease inside the canister. Just a little bit. You don't want to overdo it. Look up in the housing, make sure it's clean, no debris. We have a little bit of old grease in there we want to get out. That's why it helps to just remove this housing. All right, clean. Go ahead and install with the new filter. Make sure that you're not forcing this in, because if you miss the threads and you cross thread it, this canister is not cheap. And then just hand tight. You want to run the sensor wire back. They had it from the factory. Go ahead and put the 2 10mm bolts. Now on all my bolts, if it's a saltwater motor, all my bolts I like to put a little lubricant on them. I use a Yamaha shield. Spray a little bit on there. Just helps for next time when you take them off. Again, you want to start all the bolts by hand. You don't want to cross thread anything. If you just run everything in with your impact, you're going to run into some problems. Alright, bolts are started by hand. And tighten those up. Looks good. Go ahead and connect our filter. Sometimes you have to work around power poles. Go ahead and connect our filter, sensor, water and fuel sensor. Now we're ready to put our cover back on.